I'm not blaming the guy for getting pushed down. I understand Davante issued an apology. When people know that you have a substantial amount of money and they can take advantage of that, society where that is going to happen.
In my last video, I announced that we are going to be doing cash giveaways. $100 at the end of every week is what you guys voted for anyone that's subscribed and have my notifications turned on. Before we start doing this, I just need to give you a disclaimer. There is a spam bot account that goes into my comment section. Its account name is like text some random number on Telegram, and then it'll try to tell you to send him money in your shipping info or something of that sort in order for you to win your giveaway. That is not me. My account is verified. There's a check mark on it. I will never tell you in the comment section that you've ever won anything ever. I will always announce that you won something in a video, or I'll tag you on Twitter, or I'll post you on my Instagram story. But I'll never respond in the comment section of a YouTube video, and I don't have a Telegram, so please be careful about that, because that's the one thing that's making me a little nervous about launching these cash giveaways. Some of you guys have been DMing me on Instagram and Twitter telling me that this spam bot account
has scammed you.
Now that we get all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? I will admit I did not think we were going to get to this point where I'd have to make a part 2 on this situation, because I didn't think that the individual that got shoved by Davante Adams was seeking these types of charges. I thought that he was just seeking a big payday. I did not think he was actually trying to get to a situation to hurt Davante Adams legally. And ultimately, it seems like that's what's going down. So for those of you guys that don't know what happened and didn't catch my video on this yesterday, towards the end of the Monday Night Football game between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs, on 4th and 1, there was a play that occurred that was literally Las Vegas Raiders poetry in motion. I mean, you saw Davante Adams and Hunter Renfrow running these remarkably crisp routes on 4th and 1, just bumping into one another. The result being Derek Carr throwing an incomplete pass, and following that, Davante Adams was so frustrated that he threw his helmet to the ground and started charging towards the locker room. While doing so, a cameraman got in his way. From the very first angle, it looks like Davante Adams just went ahead and tried to pick a fight with this poor cameraman. But when you look at a new angle that has been coming up more recently, you notice that the cameraman kind of walked in front of Davante Adams. Now, of course, Davante Adams would apologize for this.
We're coming off the field and I bumped into him and kind of pushed him, and then he ended up on the ground. So I want to say sorry to him for that, because that was just frustration mixed with him running and literally just running in front of me, and that was shouldn't have responded that way, but that's how I initially responded, so I want to apologize to him for that.
And dude, even on Twitter, immediately following the game, he would say sorry to the guy I pushed over after the game, obviously very frustrated at the way the game ended, and when he ran in front of me as I exited, that was my reaction, and I felt horrible immediately. That's not me. My apologies, man. I hope you see this. That didn't stop this individual from pursuing police charges. And we read the police charges in the previous video, man, and it's actually hilarious. So check this out. The victim is a photographer at the Chiefs/Raiders game. At the end of the game, he was pushed to the ground, causing injury. He made arrangements for private transport to the hospital for treatment, at which time he called the police. You know what I just realized? He made arrangements for private transport to the hospital is either he drove his ass to the hospital or he called an Uber to drive his to the hospital. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I know ambulances can get very expensive. It's just the way this is phrased is like Davante Adams almost truly caused this individual harm, when if you look at a different angle, and don't get me wrong, Davante Adams should not shove this guy at all whatsoever, even if he's in his way. The fact that this guy walked in front of Davante Adams and then he's exaggerating the truth to this extent is kind of indicative of what I thought he was originally pursuing, which, by the way, I was wrong. So check this out. The injuries are preliminary, thought to be non-life threatening. The incident will be investigated by our assault unit detectives. Upon completion, they will coordinate with the applicable city or state prosecutor to determine any applicable charges. So originally, I thought that Davante Adams may reach out to the guy and maybe they could figure out terms on some sort of settlement. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. I don't know if this guy is using this as a leverage play or if he just has a true vendetta against Davante Adams for shoving him to the ground, but either way, Davante Adams might go to jail as a result of this, because according to Adam Schefter, it's official, Raiders wide receiver Davante Adams was charged this morning in the municipal court of Kansas City with misdemeanor assault. Bro, I'm not saying that what Davante Adams did was right. You know, he was upset at the heat of the moment, and again, you're not supposed to shove some innocent guy regardless, no matter what the circumstances are. But when you combine the fact that this man was like walking in front of Davante Adams following that second camera angle, plus with the fact that, dude, you did not suffer any injury at all whatsoever. You're just trying to get a bag, which even I understood. You know, like, you're a cameraman. How much money are you really getting paid to take pictures of people? I mean, if you're really good at your job, obviously, but chances are this is a man that's just trying to get his foot in the door for some big career opportunity. And of course, after seeing Davante Adams being paid a 5-year, $141 million contract following his trade to the Las Vegas Raiders, I understand that this is a very big opportunity for him. But having him charged with misdemeanor assault is a little excessive in my opinion. Now, maybe it's because Davante Adams didn't want to pay him anything. I'm not exactly sure the situation, but there's freaking court records on this, bro. Look at this. Davante Lavelle Adams. If you zoom in right over here, he intentionally inflicted injury, did then and there commit the following offense. The facts supporting this belief are as follows. Assault, did by an intentional overt act to inflict body injury or cause unlawful offensive contact upon Ryan Zebley. Okay, so the guy's name is Ryan Zebley. By pushing Zebley to the ground using two hands, causing whiplash and headache, possible minor concussion. Oh my God, bro. I mean, unless there's some footage that I'm not seeing, the guy's head didn't even hit the ground. I mean, before I give you clarification from Rap Sheet about why Davante Adams could potentially go to jail, let's take a lesson from this, bro. You push the wrong guy, especially if you're in an advantageous financial situation, and some people will take it this far, unfortunately. So there's a point of clarity on the Davante Adams situation. He has been charged with a city ordinance violation, which is a little lower than a state misdemeanor assault charge per the prosecutor's office. It carries a fine of $250 to $1,000 or up to half a year in jail or both. Dude, could you imagine if Davante Adams ends up spending 6 months in jail for this one moment? I mean, more likely than not, Davante's gonna probably end up settling with this guy. And I don't know how I feel about this man. I mean, on one hand, if you're in a bad financial situation, I understand seizing this opportunity to try to get yourself a nice little bag. After reading all of this information and hearing this man stretch out this information, I don't know, I just think the situation's a little comical. I can't really blame the guy if he's in a bad financial situation for doing what he's doing. At the same time, I don't like making money this way. I'm not the type of guy that will try to stretch an unfortunate circumstance, or like, say if I get into a car accident and it's not my fault, I'm not the type of guy that'll try to milk that situation for as much money as possible. But I also understand that people have different financial situations, and based upon that, they make those decisions. So I'm not gonna fault the guy for this, but we could all take a lesson from it, man. If you're in a good financial situation, you gotta watch yourself in these situations where people are gonna try to headhunt for a bag. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I apologize if you didn't think this warranted a video. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.